Okay, so the first thing that I want to say, and by the way, this is a recording that we are going to save as the objections training for advisors. So I'm going to talk to you and as well to everybody who's watching this training. Your prospect, our leads are going to believe in this work, in the value of this program, as much as you believe in this work and in this program. And they're going to have the confidence that you show, meaning that you could believe in this work and this program, but if you don't show up confidently to them, they're going to feel nervous and not trust. So I'm saying this to say that the scripts and the sales script you have is a great guide, but it does not do anything if the person who's delivering it is not confident in what you're talking. Number two that I want to say is that those scripts are a guide, but they're not necessarily something that you have to say or do, because we want the people to feel that we're connecting to them, not that we are repeating a script. It's kind of like the same process we do with our kids. In our program, we go from repeating scripts from social media to truly connecting to what our children need. It's the same thing with our leads. So we have a guideline, we have a guide, a roadmap, and we have a human with needs, with fears. They come with a lot of fears, and their resistance is not a sign that they're bad people or they don't like you or they don't like our program. Their resistance is that they're scared. They don't know if this is the right turn. They're scared. And our job is to wrap them around our arms and help them see, I feel safe here and this is the right thing to do. So that's the first thing that I want to have for this objection handling session, because many times when we're handling objections, if we don't keep in mind what I just said, we end up giving a feel that it is us against them, or that is us defending the program, us defending HIC, us defending our ideas or what we're saying. We're not defending nothing, because there is not a me against nobody. It's just us with them, helping them gain confidence in themselves and in the process. Does it make sense? Okay.
100%.
So every time they give you an objection, there is always a fear beneath that objection. So the objection, the way we handle it successfully is not when we come back with an answer, is when we get curious and ask more questions to really seeing what that fear is. And once you get to the root of the fear, then you address it. And that's how you successfully handle objections.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the toughest part, objection handling.
Yeah. So because objections is not about us versus them, we want to address them as much as we can before they have to tell us from 1 to 10. And then from 1 to 10, when we ask them that question, that qualifying question from 1 to 10, that's another opportunity for them to tell us their objections. So the idea is that when we get to pricing, pretty much the only objection that they may have is pricing. And hopefully we did a really great job. They don't have objections. They have either a yes or a no.
Yeah.
A no is not an objection. A no is a no.
Yeah.
So how do we handle objections before the question 1 to 10? we go to the application and we try to see if there are any objections on the application. So if in the application they say they're going through therapy, they might be asking themselves, what is this program giving me that I'm not getting in therapy? Or if they say on the application they already went through other classes, they might be asking themselves, I already know a lot. What am I going to learn here that I don't already know? Or if they are saying that they are a social media parenting junkie, they might be saying, I'm a pretty smart person. I can get as much as I get as I can in social media. Why would I need? So from the application to spot on the objections. Another kind of objection is the specificities of their family. Because if they have a specific situation, they're always thinking, I wonder if they're going to help me with this very specific thing. So
Yeah.
for example, if you see on the application that they're parents of twins, they might be thinking, I wonder if they can help me with me being a parent of twins. If they say they have a child with autism or whatever specific need.
Yeah.
So the way we handle objections before they come up is from the application, and while they're talking, while in the discovery process, while they're talking, to not just think about understanding their needs and desires, but trying to pull down the objections that you may hear through their words and writing them down so you don't forget them. And you address them as they go. Once they come from the 1 to 10 question, that question is really for them to tell you the objections that they have that we have not addressed before. And then that's it. Once you address all of the objections, you go to the pricing. Don't go to pricing if you have not addressed objections.
Yeah.
Okay. What about if we practice?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm a parent who has the objection of, I'm just going to throw the objection at you. Okay. I don't know, because I'm a 7. You already asked the 1 to 10 question. I'm a 7. So what would you say?
Your hesitance, you're a 7. Got that written down here.
Mhm. So I already say I'm a 7.
So you're a 7. I say, I'm curious. After hearing and talking to you about everything that we've spoken about today, and I could really see and hear from you that this is something that you wanted to do. What is it exactly that's making you hesitant? Because I could really feel it in you earlier. So I really want to understand where your hesitancy is so we can see if we can help you or not.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Or you can say, like, I wonder why you're a 7 and not a 10. Just simple like that. I don't know. I'm gonna say something Alit said. It's because I just don't. Do you have a coach who has twins? Because you know how the twin dynamic is.
So I'm hearing from you something similar to me, actually, when I first joined as a parent, and I'd done lots of courses, and I was a bit hesitant because I really wasn't sure if they could really understand my kiddos' silliness behavior, because it was so out there. So I feel like you're there with me with the twins, because that is a different dynamic. Not everybody has twins. It is uncommon, and it's a different dynamic. What I can assure you is, yes, actually, we have dealt with many twins, and the coach that we can put you with has experience of working with twins. So as long as you're willing to put the work in and do the work, we definitely have the experience, and I know exactly.
Does that coach have twins? Because like I need them to really fully understand my situation. Do they have twins?
Actually, the owner of the company has twins.
But the coach who's gonna coach me.
The coach doesn't have twins, but she does have an array of experience with people who have worked with twins.
Victoria, do you feel like you're defending yourself?
Yeah, a
Yeah, yeah. So when
bit.
they have the sense, when you have the sense that you're defending yourself, they're already feeling
Mhm. Yeah,
defending the company and not with them.
yeah. So I could say something like,
So you always want to, like they want, how do I say? A successful objection handling is when you're always side by side with them, helping them and not defending our.
yeah,
So I would get more curious. I wonder why you really need that they have to be a parent of twins. Is there something that's going on in your head or something that happened to you? Like you really, like questions
yeah,
are the power tool of an objection handler
yeah,
because you want to get to the root, the fear, what they're thinking.
yeah, yeah. So you would ask, does the coach have twins? I would answer, the coach doesn't have twins. I would answer normally that the coach doesn't have twins, but the owner of the company does have twins. We have experience with twins. And then you would say, no, but does she have twins? And I'd say, I'm really curious what's going on in your mind of why you feel it's important for the coach to have had the twins. What is it? Explain more because I want to be able to help you. So
That's great because then she's gonna give you the real objection. Well, I was in this parenting course and I had these coaching sessions with this coach and they didn't help me because they didn't understand my twins. So now the objection is I'm comparing this course with your course.
yeah,
It's not even about the twin situation.
yeah.
So you want to investigate more about that course.
So
I
I'd say
wonder, okay, so I wonder how was the coaching session? Was it like you in a big room with a lot of parents or how could you please explain to me more what your experience was?
yeah, so okay, so now this makes sense. You've had past experience, and as anyone, we draw from our past experience to for what we think might happen in the future. So can I ask you a bit about the parenting course? What was it like? How was the setup of the parenting course? Was it
Well, but yeah, we would come in and it was like a room full of parents in Zoom. And then the parenting coach would take one question at a time. And it was very rushed. It was kind of like I got like general tips that didn't work. Yeah.
it sounds a little bit chaotic and it's
Victoria, now can you see that once they give you the real thing,
yeah, I'm like, I've got it, I know why
now
we're different.
yeah, now you can really talk about how we can help her differently. Mm-hmm.
So now I'd be able to say, oh, I completely understand. That sounds, it does sound chaotic. That's not how we take the approach here, because going into a Zoom session with many parents and everybody asking one-on-one questions at a time, nobody gets the help they need because it's too much information. That doesn't happen with the way that we handle things. This is one-on-one coaching. So it's very respectful in the meetings. And actually, the cohort that I became a member of, we still talk to each other on WhatsApp now. We still share tips. We were very respectful of each other. One person gets coaching. Depends. Sometimes you can fit two people in, but one person will get the coaching that they need so that you really get to the root of the problem and that problem is resolved in that session.
Mm-hmm.
And what you find is the other parents, and I'm speaking from my own experience, you get coaching yourself because you see yourself in these parents. We do go through not the same situation, but a similar, and you can take from their experiences and actually learn something from you. And then at the end of this session, you can actually talk about what came up for you. But once that problem's resolved, so you really resolve the problem you have, and then everybody gets a chance to have a
That's
discussion.
it. And then remember that our program is group coaching or one-on-one. So you could tell her, and if you don't feel comfortable in a group setting, you can always choose to do this program one-on-one.
Right. So, and if that even, and that's the coaching I did, and I got everything I needed out of it. But if you do want to do a one-on-one, you will literally have group coaching, or you will literally have coaching with your coach one-on-one with no other people, just you.
I said, okay. So what would you say after? You check back the 1 to 10. You always, after every objection, you always want to check back for readiness.
So how are you feeling now? Are you a 7 or a 10?
Okay, I'm gonna keep throwing objections at you, not because parents are usually like this, but because we're in an objection handling session, okay? Uh, hmm. Because we just moved houses and then it's very chaotic here. And I just, what time is the session? Because I don't think I will have the time to commit to this.
The sessions are 90 minutes and they're at 8:30 Eastern time
Or 60 minutes
or 60
if
minutes
they're one-on-one.
one-on-one. So they're 90 minutes if you're doing the group, or 60 minutes if you're doing one-on-one, and they're at 8:30 Eastern time. Tell me what's your, how everyone's situation is different. How's your bedtime routine set up? Who does it?
Well, I mean, it's more about like that. It's chaotic here. We just moved homes, and I feel like I don't know if I wanna commit to do this big process because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I can understand that. And I'm curious, how long have you been struggling with your situations, that with the troubles that we were talking about, the transition of the car? How long have you been thinking about?
I'm smiling because I like this. Ah, yeah, for a long time.
Mm. Mm. So it doesn't sound to me like this is a rushed decision for you, because you've been dealing with it for a long time.
But it is again like again, it's again like we're in a big transition. I'm gonna tell you, Victoria, something that you can ask.
Mhm.
Okay, in objection handling, don't be afraid to poke the bear. You want them to feel the uncomfortableness. You want them to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And respect. So you could ask this. So Marcela, if now is not the time, when is the time?
In my head, I was kind of wasn't sure how to go down that one. Yeah.
Because what I see is that you're overwhelmed with this transition, and the coach will guide you through the transition.
Mm.
So it's more peaceful. So it's not as chaotic.
So I could say something like, my question is, we're always parenting. So if now's not the time, when is the time? Because they're only getting older. And also the coach will be able to coach you through this chaos that you're talking about, where you've just moved home, you're going to have different struggles going on within that chaos, and they'll be able to coach you through that, so you've got the tools for the future.
I will keep it a little shorter. So she actually gives me an answer.
So I just do that. I would ask your,
Yeah, like I like what you
time.
said. Like I like what you said. We're always parenting, and you're gonna parent your children with support or without support, regardless. So if now is not the time, when is the time?
So I would say, I understand with the chaos and with moving home, without children, moving home is stressful enough, but we're always parenting, even in the chaos. So if now's not the time, when is the time?
And if they don't answer, wait. Remember in social life that the uncomfortable silence. You want that you want to get to the uncomfortable silence because they're really reflecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I'd ask you now, you were a 7 before. where are you now? 7, a 10?
Yeah, I'm a 9 because I don't know how much it is. It depends of the price.
And do we take them if they're a 9? If they're a 9 and that's the last, do we then go through the price? Or do we pull them back and say, before we do pricing, I want to get you to a 10 inside yourself?
I would say, so you're saying it's just like it would be just the price, meaning like if we don't talk about price, you will be at 10.
So if it was
Or is there anything
10,
else? Or is there anything else?
okay.
And then call the elephant in the room, how I said you want them to feel uncomfortable.
That's good.
So this is how I would call the elephant in the room. I see that there is a lot of hesitation because we talked about all these, we talked about your struggles, your desires, the roadmap to get to your solution. And then I see like a lot of hesitation. Usually when this happens is because of two things. You're either scared about trusting yourself to do this process. You don't know if you could do it. Or maybe you have more questions about us and you don't know if we can help you. What do you think it is? That's an uncomfortable question, but you want to ask those uncomfortable questions.
It's kind as well. So
yeah,
just turn my phone on silent. So if there was a 9, I mean,
because this mom is putting a lot of walls, like it's a lot objection after objection. So after the second one, I'm gonna call the elephant in the room. It's always when it comes to objections, really, the meat or the root of all objections are 3 things. 4 things. Number 1, they don't trust themselves. Number 2, they don't trust us. And that means they're new. They just found out about us. They have not built enough trust in us. And number 3, they don't know if the process would work for them.
Yeah.
Number 4 is that they truly cannot afford it, because that's a reality. Sometimes if they pay for this, they won't be feeding their kids. And in that case, of course, we don't want to offer our program to somebody who cannot afford the program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point, I would say, okay, so after everything we've spoken about, I can still really feel that you're hesitant, that's something stopping you. And I really want to understand what that is. Is it that you don't trust yourself to do the work? Is it that you don't trust us, that we won't understand you? Or is it something else?
Okay. I just don't know if this would work.
So the hesitancy is you haven't got full trust in us to
In
be
the process.
process. They haven't got full trust in the process on
It's
whether
kind of like she knows Jesus can save her, but
not me.
she doesn't really believe that it could be her. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm hearing is you've been struggling with this for a long time, and you were kind of where I was, and you're not sure that all these other people can resolve their issues, but your issues just might not get resolved. And that's a big commitment. And it's a big worry. And I can feel that and I can hear it. What I can tell you from experience is if you put the work in and you follow the steps and let us guide you through them, you will see results.
and then that's great. And then end with a question. Always end with questions because you want them to keep talking. So that a good question would be, what is costing you to stay where you are? Because the books, the classes, the things that the tools you have are not getting the results you're looking for. What is the cost when it comes to the relationship with your children? What is costing you right now?
So at the end of that, I say, so with the books and the tools that you've been using and the social media, what is it costing you right now to stay where you are and not resolve the situation?
That's great. And you might get a silence because there might be like, oh, I don't know. So I might say, yeah. What's costing me? What do you mean costing me? They might ask you. You
Yeah.
say, why is it costing you to stay where you are? Let's just say 6 months from now, things are the same. What is
Yeah.
costing you?
So what is it costing you to stay where you are? You're not spending any money to move forward, but you're not resolving the situation. So what's it costing you? Where's the point?
Mm-hmm. That's great. And you know what, Victoria? After this, if they're still hesitant, they don't know. Just help them say no. Help them say yeah, just help them say no because no is great.
Yeah.
So I can tell that you're not ready yet to do this program. And I understand it's a big commitment. My invitation for you is to keep diving into our podcast. The Parenting with Understanding podcast has great episodes. And when you are ready to do the work, apply again. And we're going to always be here to help you and support you. If they're putting up all those walls, Victoria, yeah.
Are we allowed to stay in contact with them? Can I say, look, you're not ready yet? Why don't we just stay in contact?
Our email
Yeah.
marketing does that.
Yeah.
Yes. But this is where you schedule a follow-up. When they tell you, no, I cannot enroll today because in 2 weeks I close on a house and I cannot make any big purchase until I close on that house.
Gotcha, yeah.
So if they actually have something that they have to do to a certain date.
And we do the follow-up.
Yeah.
So
For
we're not doing the if somebody says no, ringing them on a weekly basis. Hi, you ready yet? Are you ready?
No, you want to set up, for example, remember Katie and Jorge?
Mm-hmm.
When I did the discovery call with them, they said, well, we have a daycare and we already set up the budget for this month. It will have to be next month. And I said, when do you set up the budget for daycare next month?
Right.
It's going to be April 25th. Okay. Is it okay if we set up a follow-up for April 25th?
Okay.
So that's when you set up follow-ups, when you have like a clear. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because they're in maybe land, they're in the limbo, like anyway.
Do you ever get the people that will tell you what you want to hear because they just want to get you to the pricing?
Yeah. But you know what? With time, you're gonna get really smart, and you're gonna start reading their demeanor. Like you can tell who's really invested.
Yeah.
The ones who are really invested are crying, are hugging each other. They're kind of like you can tell from the energetic side that they're with you.
Yeah.
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 Or they're telling you all about themselves.
Yeah, instead of trying to make up excuse after excuse after excuse. Yeah. I'm just giving you all the things that have came up that will come up.
Yeah.
So you know how to solve them.
Would have been good if I had been the person to do the objections. I'm like the unicorn. I hope I get a me on my first call. Yep. Where do I sign? Where do I sign? Where do I sign?
You have to let us know, because if you get a lot of people with a lot of objections, that just lets us know that we are not giving them the right message in marketing.
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to warm these people up until they get to you. So if you're telling me they're putting up a lot of walls, tell me so I can adjust things on the front end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The really pricing should just be the shock of the pricing should they're the objections that we should be overcoming, is that ouch.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Once you get to the pricing is because they already told you they're at 10. You already solved all the non-pricing objections. So if they come up with a pricing objection, you come back and let them know you are at 10. You are invested in this. You want this. And then instead of you defending the program, you go to their side and you say, how can we make this work?
Yeah.
And then and troubleshoot with them because they might not have the capacity. Many people are bad financial managers.
Yeah.
So you might say, is there something that you are spending right now that you can cut up? For example, you can give them an example. For example, my twins were in jiu-jitsu classes and they're expensive. And I cut down in jiu-jitsu classes so I could do this program. I don't know, whatever. Like you could give it an example.
Yeah.
I'm curious, why are you is there something that you're spending on your kids right now? Maybe jiu-jitsu or piano, or maybe you're planning a vacation. Have them answer.
Yeah.
Well, my kids go to piano. That's great. And I wonder what made you say yes to that, because that's expensive. Well, because they are building their skills. My family are musicians and I want them to have that skill.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, and this is on you. What could happen if you cut down on piano just for some time so you could do this work? Because right now they're getting piano, but they're not getting the parent that they need. So if you cut down piano for a while, you could allocate it to, or how else, and ask them how else, like let's troubleshoot. You are on their side trying to
Figure it out.
Figure out, yeah. A lot of the times I don't do that because how I said this is that extreme case, but I've done it. I've done it. Yeah. And sometimes what has happened is that they tell me, well, I don't know, I have half and my mother-in-law has the other half. If they have half now, then contact us in Slack and say, hey, these people have half. So, or you could tell them to PayPal, because this is the thing. When they secure something,
yeah,
they're more willing to pay the rest.
Yeah.
Right? If you tell, okay, come back tomorrow when you get the other half. So if that's the case, you tell them, you can PayPal right now, they have to high impact az Gmail. And then the other half tomorrow. And then let us know that they're going to do that. But you know something, Victoria? Don't do this until you tell them the payment plan and everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if not, like not even the payment plan works. But do you think that you can pay the 3,000? Yes, I know I can pay the 3,000, but right now I don't have the 1,000. Okay, so what you have right now? And then have them PayPal that amount. And then my team and I will contact them to see how they're gonna pay the rest.
Okay, yeah.
Once they
Can you pay like you pay that amount now because that's like the deposit to secure your place, and then the team will contact you.
Yes, yeah, you can say that.
Because there's an urgency if, well, they
But
don't pick the rest, they lose.
something, Victoria? This has never happened to us.
Yeah.
They always have the at least the first payment of the payment plan.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if they really, really like, I need this, but right now I have $800. I don't have the 1,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can get them to PayPal the 800 and put them in contact with you guys.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
What other objection? We did I don't know if this is for me, and we did the time objection. We did the money objection.
Yeah.
What other objection? Could you please help me remember?
The poor.
The what?
They're too poor. The poor objection can't. The
Yeah.
objection, is it that you can't put food on the
Ah,
table? Oh,
I have a big objection. I'll think about it. Objection. So they have the money. They have to think about it.
I understand. I like to take my time to think about big things as well.
I'm
But
curious.
I'm curious. I'm curious because what I saw at the beginning of the before we started. No, I'm curious because what I saw in you is you really wanted to resolve your struggles with the transition from the car. What is it that you're being hesitant about? Is it that you just need some time to process? Because we can step away and you can take your time and we can come back.
Yeah, that would be great. Let's step away and let's come back tomorrow.
Oh no, not tomorrow, today. Because remember at the beginning of the call, we're going to get to at the end of the call. Yes, this is for you. No, this isn't for me.
I'm gonna tell you something my father told me. I just didn't wake up thinking about spending all this money today. I didn't wake up thinking about spending 2,500.
Yeah,
and I have to think about it. That's a lot of money.
that is a lot of money. That is. I remember when I first was told, and I remember the stomach dropping because it's a lot of money to spend. It is a lot of money. I've gone blank.
Yeah. So he has the money,
Yeah.
but he still thinks that is the money. I don't know if the money is worth what he's gonna get. So remind them of what he's gonna get out of. What's the pain he's solving?
I feel you. And take it back to before we spoke about money.
Excuse me. I'm gonna tell you one specifically. You can answer. Once, whatever he told you, let's just say he told you he wants his daughter to be more connected to him. Once you are more connected to your daughter and she's able to trust you with her things instead of shutting down in her room, and you feel confident in your parenting, how does 2,500 sound feel to you? Yes. To get to that?
So, okay, say I understand that. I remember when I first heard the price and my stomach dropped. But what I can say is your worry, your fear with the disconnection with your daughter, and she's shutting herself in the room. When that's not happening anymore and you have this connection, and when it does happen, you're able to coax her out of the room and reconnect with her. What's 2,500 then?
What's 2,500 feel? What does it feel? How would that feel?
How does 2,500 feel with those tools, with that connection?
If he's still hesitant about it,
He's Scrooge.
Yes, it's a no. Like, if he's still putting up walls, that's a no. Because like, if he's getting that transformation, parenting transformation is priceless. You could ask him about what is it costing you to stay this way. Like, you don't have to stay with what I'm telling you. You could dig in your tools, in your answer tools, and
the emotional cost. What's the emotional? Everything has an emotional cost. So it's not costing you financially, but what is it costing you and your daughter emotionally to stay where you're at now? Because that's
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's great. Or to ask him, how, after you solve this problem, you feel this way, how does 2,500 feel to you?
yeah.
I just want to let you know that objection handling is not about them and against us. Again, it's about them seeing clarity. And when they're putting up a lot of walls, they're not ready for this work.
Yeah.
Because even if you get them to enroll, they will be customers who are going to give us a lot of problems in customer service
Yeah.
if they're that hesitant
Yes.
beginning with. Okay. One thing about pricing, when you explain the price, start with the higher amount. So that you can, the higher amount is the 5,000 and the 3,000. Okay. So before you talk about pricing, you have them choose. Okay, so what do you want? Group coaching or one-on-one? Because if they say group coaching, you don't have to talk about the prices of one-on-one.
Yeah.
Let's just say they say one-on-one, and then you say, okay, the program is 5,000, and you're going to pay 1,600 today, 1,600 in 30 days, and the last one at the end. Or we have a fast action bonus of 500 off, and you can pay full price. No, you can pay in full 4,500 today. What do you choose? So you always want to start with the bigger amount and then go to the smaller amount.
Action bonus. Okay, yeah. So it will be, you'll say that you want the one-on-one. Okay, well, that'll be 1,600 today on this call. And then,
No, the program is 5,000.
oh yeah, the program is 5,000. So that would be 1,600 today on this call, 1,600 30 days after, and 1,600 30 days after that. Or you can do the fast action bonus, which is 4,500. So today you pay 4,500 and you get 500 off the total package.
Okay, so that what has happened is that once they see that price, they're like, oh, we cannot pay that. And then you say, have you considered maybe the group coaching? Because group coaching is you get personalized, individualized support in a group setting. I wonder what is it about groups that you don't like, or like I wonder what you think about groups. They might say like, I'm fearful of the people judging me, and then you address that fear.
Yeah, which is good because I've been there, and the respectfulness, and everybody's respectful, and you get your time to speak and talking
Yeah.
through that. It is like one-on-one coaching when you're the one being coached, and when you're not, you're still getting information, and at the end you get a chance to see what came up for you after hearing them being coached.
And then sometimes they say, okay, so what's the difference if I get individualized support? What's the difference with one-on-one coaching? And I always tell them that imagine with one-on-one coaching, you're reserving the whole restaurant and the chef for them. They're all the room is for you. With group coaching, you're sharing the restaurant with some other families, but you're still getting served the food.
Everyone's still getting served attentively.
Yes. Yeah. Usually when I tell them that analogy, they're like, okay.
Yeah, that's a good
And then
enough.
they choose. Yeah. How do you feel about objection handling?
It's tough because, like you say, someone's probably going to give you one or maybe two, and we dealt with everything. So I feel that if you connect with them at the beginning, then the objection is just going to be easier because you're going to be a little bit more, on a level with them, because you would have gone through nearly an hour talking about their life.
Yeah.
And you won't be so robotic because you'll know each other a bit better. And now you really will be, okay, look, I'm just trying to help you. I just want to, I don't want to put the thumb screws on. We just want to find out what the issue is, to whether this is for you or if it isn't for you.
Yeah, that's so true. Objections are just people with fears,
Yep.
and that's it.
And that's actually a quite good, like, you know, you say calling out or you're hesitant. You can say, you know, I'm not trying to force you into anything. People have fears, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're exploring the fears. Tell me what your fears are.
Or instead of like, I'm not trying to force you to say, I we are in the step number 3 of this call of this is a decision making call. So I'm trying to see if this is really a yes or a no for you. I don't want to leave you with a maybe, because maybes don't give you answers. A yes and a no, you already know what you need. When you say yes, you know what you need. When you say no, you know what you need. That's why we are exploring what's inside of you that's making you that hesitant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, Victoria, so how do you feel? Let me start the recording.